The Tao of Self Confidence, episode 790. Welcome to the Tao of Self Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self confidence awaits. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have an amazing lady on the show today. She's a fitness business coach, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Hannah Chan. Hannah, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Hi, I'm amazing. Thank you so much. So about me, oh gosh, I don't even know where to start, but I grew up in Hong Kong, typical Asian traditional family sort of thing. We were a bit international, but, went to the international school, grew up in Hong Kong, and then moved to London for university. So that was pretty much my background. I moved to London, never really lived there before, from an Asian background sort of thing. And then graduated from university, pretty typical, went into my first corporate job, which was actually a graduate sales recruitment job. I hated it. It was a cold calling type of job. Wasn't my thing. So I quit that after 2 months and then actually went into another corporate job, which was more so around headhunting. So at the same time, what actually came to a surprise to me was I actually ended up really getting into powerlifting. So at the same time, I'd go to work, I'd go home, I'd go to the gym, lift weights, ended up competing in powerlifting. And that's when I got really, really good, did a lot of competitions, and then actually made the GB powerlifting team. So my goal for myself, my career was always that I didn't want to be in corporate. I wanted to be a full-time online fitness coach. But obviously I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know how to market myself. So it was a struggle to get clients online. And then eventually I cracked the code after investing tens of thousands of dollars into myself, and then made the transition to coaching other fitness coaches how to actually grow their fitness business. So that's a bit about me, and that's my background.
Thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
So self-confidence to me is the ability to show up in a way that feels aligned to you without worrying about what the wrong people think. Because I think a lot of the time we can be afraid to be ourselves, and we can be afraid to say what we feel like we want to say because we're afraid to offend people. And sometimes what happens is we almost sacrifice our feelings or what we want to make other people happy. So for me, self-confidence is being able to actually communicate and verbalize what you want in a way that feels authentic and in line with you.
Thanks for sharing that great definition. And Hannah, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
I think even with growing up, I was the type of person who would almost put on a mask and pretend that I was confident or fake it, even though I wasn't deep down. And I think one of the biggest during this time, it was when I was in high school, year 12, 13, I was around, 15 to 17 years old. And in school, I just felt like I didn't really fit in anywhere. I had, different groups of friends, but I never really had a group of friends that I felt like I belonged to. And then for me, a big part of it was validation and wanting to be liked. Eventually what happened was to try and pursue that, I ended up just going out underage drinking every weekend, getting super, super drunk when I was like 16 and 17, hung out with the wrong people that weren't the best influence on my education and on my morals as well in general. And really that was how things were like before I really found confidence. So, I was kind of getting mixed in with the wrong crowd. I was hanging out with the wrong people. It was influencing the way I showed up at school. It didn't make me feel very good about myself. Obviously, with going out and partying at such a young age and drinking so much as well, it just doesn't feel good. But for me, I felt like I almost did that as a mask to cover up my lack of self-confidence at the time.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think, we've all gone through that, especially like wanting to be liked, getting that validation, especially as Asian women, how we're brought up. We just want everyone to like us and be okay with us, not realizing like we can't please everybody. And, the more we realize like we can't do that, the more we can be free to be our true selves. And what was that point in your life when you realized you can go out there and be who you are today, have that confidence? What was that aha moment?
The really pivotal point in my life was when I started my fitness journey. And I know it sounds so cliche, especially in my industry, but for me, slowly what happened was as I went to university, I started going to the gym. And admittedly, I started going just because I wanted to look good, right? So started going to the gym, started lifting weights. And then it was that confidence in the gym that has actually transferred over to the other areas of my life. So it was the discipline and the confidence and the patience that I learned in terms of making progress in the gym and in fitness that has been able to help me translate those qualities in other areas of my life. So, the patience and the discipline and the work ethic that I found when it came to sticking to my nutrition goals and going to the gym, even when I didn't feel like it, that allowed me to show up in my exams the same way as well when I was in university in terms of being disciplined with everything. And then as I got more confident in the gym, as I was able to actually push my body to do things I never even thought was possible. And as I started being more and more established and accomplished in the powerlifting world, that gave me the confidence that I needed to translate over into the other areas of my life, like my social life, my career, and now my business.
Thanks for sharing that. And a lot of people start their fitness journey to look good, right? That was also one of my reasons. But the more you do it, the more you realize they're like, yeah, you have this confidence that you never thought was possible. Like, maybe having the flat abs or lifting 25-pound dumbbells, right? And I like how you mentioned because you're confident in one area, you can transfer it in other areas. And I think that's great. You're able to do that and show others what's possible. And because of your realizations, what's your life been like now?
It's just been, if you told me, 2, 3 years ago that I'd be doing what I do now, I would not believe you. And I think you were just insane, right? Because after that, everything changed for me. I went on to compete internationally for my country. I broke British records, went on to actually quit my job and start my own business. And so now what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis is everything that I've dreamt of, but better. So being able to actually scale my business from, zero to the ground up to where it is now, to be able to actually change people's lives with what I do, as well as provide opportunities for my team is just absolutely incredible. So it's been a complete 180 and it's just made me realize the effect of, second, third, fourth order consequence.
Thanks for sharing that. And to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you'd give to her?
I would say appreciate where you are right now, even though you know that you have a lot to grow into when it comes to the future. Because a lot of the time, I think we're always pushing of like, oh, when can I get out of the state that I'm in right now? Or, oh, I hate where I am. I just want to be at this next stage. But I think if you're aiming for something and if you want to be at the top, then you have to appreciate where you're at right now if you want to get there. So that's what I'd say, live in the moment, realize that, hey, everyone has flaws and the parts of you that aren't perfect, you should just embrace and accept yourself for who you are. And that, the people who are meant to be in your life, they're actually going to accept you for who you are, as opposed to be critical of the things that aren't perfect.
Thanks for sharing those great tips. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do and check out some of your work, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yeah, so my Instagram is at HannahChan921. So that's HannahChan 921, which is basically just my birthday, 21st of September. That's my Instagram, and my Facebook is HannahChan0921.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Hannah, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Hannah's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I really just want to thank Hannah today for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Hannah.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Not a problem. It was really great having you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Want to learn how you can use podcasting to market your business? Download your free report by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.